Really quick, I want to get back here to speak about the speech of Vice President Mike Pence this morning in Washington, D.C., when it comes to the importance of defense and national security. I am indeed at the CSIS, which is the number one think tank in the world for the sixth year in a row for both matters. And among those things that are prioritized in the presidential and vice presidential agenda is fighting to fund the border wall building, which is a budget attempt to be voted before Christmas. Now, to get back to the opinions of Vice President Pence when it comes to the midterms election, that I believe is very important in order to build a bipartisanship effort and the symbiosis between the White House, the House of the Representative, and the Senate, the Hill, to summarize, between the White House and the Hill. It's very important to get off from the status quo. And the vice president mentioned that the Democrats have no agenda except resistance, which could be also a reality in several contexts of action. Now, the former Vice President Joe Biden that had the opportunity to see twice at one time here in the conference at the CSIS and another one in DC as well, and the third time being in Pennsylvania, had the opportunity to speak with Joe Biden in Bucks County, precisely in Bristol. I do believe that he said also something that is very insightful, was mentioning that this is a culture of problems. And unfortunately, I think this is belonging not just to this era, it's a little bit ancestral and is related to several socio-economic and geopolitical factors throughout the centuries and the decades. The importance of the midterms, like I say, is very important. Given the words of both vice presidents, the current one and the one by the previous vice president, I think it's very important to focus on the candidates' plans and will to do a bipartisan effort between both parties. And as of yesterday in Philadelphia, it was also an important discussion related to this issue of the midterms. And within that discussion, the fact that there is an importance when it comes to higher education as a real tiebreaker in Western countries' realities nowadays in terms of quality of life is something that could impact perhaps the voters in their decision. We have to realistically, objectively see the 48% of rating approval of Trump as a way to get forward when it comes to working within the bipartisanship efforts. These midterms are considered by several as a referendum to Trump's agenda at every territorial entity, and I think this is also something that should move forward. To my opinion, to get back to the issue, I think the real problem that several Democrats have right now is that they don't understand their own weakness during these midterms. In general, the winner of the first term in the White House loses the midterm to the opposite party, but this is not a rule. And in such circumstances, I think there is a possibility, even with a narrow margin, at either the House or the Senate, to create an important, to cement an atmosphere of synergy and work between all representatives to facilitate the work of the White House as well. So looking forward to following this and seeing how it's gonna impact, of course, the national policy in the United States. So when it comes also to the work of the country within the context of foreign affairs and the context of working within the arenas of international organizations. Thank you.